Connecting the community through gospel.
The new 107.9 FM, W300EB,
Macon and WDDO 980 AM,
Perry.
Macon. Connecting the community through gospel.
The new 107.9 FM, W300EB,
Macon and WDDO 980 AM,
Perry.
Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Ask Elaine, better ask Elaine. Ask Elaine, better ask Elaine. Ask Elaine, better ask Elaine. Ask Elaine, better ask Elaine.
Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to Ask Elaine. We're just so happy to have you there. This is your voice, Commissioner Elaine Lucas, welcoming you to the show. And of course, whenever you tune in to Ask Elaine, you know that you're going to get some powerful information, something that's going to help you to make progress, and something that's going to help our community to make progress. That's what we aim for. And today, we're calling all seniors. We're calling those folks who are the bedrock of our community, of any community. We're calling all those folks who are the ones who um, have built this community, who have built this state, who have built this nation, who have built the world. We're calling on those folks who vote in the highest numbers of any other age group. And I know by now you know what that age group is. That's our seniors, that's our more mature citizens. And so we want to talk today with some special guests who are going to tell us about some special events that will be going on to commemorate something that happened a few years ago that sets Macon-Bibb County apart from a whole lot of other counties, a whole lot of other cities in Georgia. But before I introduce to you our special guest and have her to tell you about herself and about the organization that she's representing, I want to just give you a few bits of information. One is something that we mentioned a few weeks ago, and we want you to mark your calendar for October 11th. October 11th. And this is the Night to Unite. It's back in Macon-Bibb County. This information is coming from Judy Gordon, who works with Neighborhood Watch and who has worked to organize a lot of communities in Macon-Bibb County. And every year there is a Night to Unite where neighborhoods, people in neighborhoods get together to reassure each other that they've got each other's back, to talk about ways of diminishing crime, ways of looking out for each other. So mark that date down, October 11th, 2022. And of course, each week we'll be giving you more information about it. Um, There is a planning meeting that is on the 14th. And what we will do is to put this information in the chat. And so, those of you who are on um, Facebook Live, you will be able to get that information. This is an outreach program of the Sheriff's Department. They are doing some tremendous work in prevention, and we all know that if we have our eyes and ears open and we're looking out for our neighbors, then the communities will be safer, and possibly more and more folks will be looking out for each other. We want to congratulate two ministers. I know there are a lot of ministers in Macon-Bibb County who have pastor appreciation programs. This past Sunday, I was privileged, I was honored to be asked to participate in two pastor appreciation programs. One was my own pastor, Reverend Livonia Franklin at Historic Stewart Chapel AME Church down in downtown Macon. He was celebrating, I believe, 28 years of pastoring in different places. A long time in Milledgeville, here in Macon. I didn't know it had been 6 years that he was at Stewart Chapel, but yes. And so we celebrated his anniversary, and then we also celebrated the anniversary of this lady right here, Reverend Gail Talbert Smith, who is the daughter of Reverend Talbert, Curtis Talbot, that many of us grew up thinking of as an icon, as a role model in civil rights. He didn't just talk the talk, he walked the walk. And so his daughters have. They've come along in his footsteps. One daughter is an educator in the Bibb school system, that's Beverly, and the other daughter is Pastor Gail Talbert Smith. And so there was a special program held in her honor, in honor of 33 years of pastoring. Um, and so this gorgeous booklet was done in her honor, and I just thought it was the one of the best souvenir books and tribute books I have ever seen. It is wonderful, and I think possibly they have it on the Universal Church Facebook page. If not, I'll try and share some of the pictures. But there were different people from that church and from the community paying tribute to Pastor Smith. It was just a wonderful occasion. And so I wanted to tell you those two things. The final item that I want to tell you about before we get to our special guest, and she's being very patient. But if I don't get it in, we will get into the program and it'll be over. And want to first of all thank all of you who are listening on AM 980, FM 107.9. Those who have joined us on the Glory Facebook Live, those who are on any other whatever medium you have decided to join us, we want to welcome you. We invite you to post your comments or questions in the chat. We don't see yet a lot of those usual folks that we have, but I'm sure they're on there, and we're gonna see their names pop up and recognize them and thank them for being there. But the information that I want to share with you, a lot of you have been hearing about the Inflation Reduction Act that our distinguished and esteemed President Biden was able to work through this very difficult Congress to get it put into law, passed, and in law. He has signed it. And I want to share with you just one or two things to show you how this Inflation Reduction Act will help, especially the Black community. And I'm just going to go through the beginning of this, but from time to time over the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about the different areas of influence that this act has and how it's going to impact us. We want to say hello to Shirley Lester, Jeanette Goff, and we're waiting for all the others. Y'all didn't forget us. It's 3 o'clock, WDDO. By signing the Inflation Reduction Act, President Biden is delivering on his promise to build an economy that works for working families, including Black families. The Inflation Reduction Act lowers prescription drug costs. And I want to add, all of the Republicans voted against it. So that's reason enough not to vote for any Republicans because they all have voted against you time after time after time. That's me talking. That's nobody else on the show. But these are my views, and I just tell it like I see it. But this act serves to lower prescription drug costs, health care costs, and energy costs. If we don't do something about climate change and energy and what we're putting into our air and water, we won't have an earth to live on too much longer. So something had to be done. And superhero Biden has done it. We want to welcome Patrick Davis. We want to welcome Sherry Shannon Miller. Welcome to all of you. And we want to express our condolences to Patrick in the loss of his mom a few weeks ago. And so I want to finish telling you about the benefits of the Inflation Reduction Act. It will reduce costs in prescription drugs, healthcare, and energy. It's the most aggressive action we have taken to confront the climate crisis. It'll lower the deficit. That's how much we owe as a country, and ask the super wealthy, all those folks who make millions and billions of dollars every year, and corporations to pay their fair share. And no one making under $400,000 per year will pay a penny more in taxes. So when folks want to lie to you and say it's going to raise taxes, it's going to do this, it's going to do that, they're lying to you. These Republicans lie every day, just like they're lying. Trump's out there lying, saying that those papers that he stole from all of us citizens and took to his home, if you or I had done that, we would have been in jail a long time ago. So, anyway, just don't believe that stuff. What I'm telling you is the truth. President Biden and congressional Democrats beat back the special interests to pass this historic legislation that lowers costs for Black Americans and their families. It advances environmental justice while building a cleaner future and grows the economy from the bottom up and the middle out. So, in weeks to come, I will be sharing with you some specifics as to how we will have lower healthcare costs, especially for those who are diabetics and you have to have insulin. Um, Everybody knows somebody, or you're related to somebody, or it could be you, that you depend on insulin to live through diabetes. And so there's some uh, cost reductions that are guaranteed by this bill. We're also going to talk about how it will help us to combat climate change and lower energy costs. So we'll talk about all of that. But I just wanted to let you know that President Biden is doing a job for us. He started off a little slow, And he might stumble up the steps on the plane, but all of us have stumbled. I don't care what age you are. But all the Republicans want to do is to show him stumbling up the steps. And I said, you know, dang, everybody stumbles here and there. The man is 79 years old, but he has more that he has forgotten than those folks who consistently vote against the what's good for all of us. And so I applaud him. I applaud him. And he did all of this stuff while battling COVID. I think he tested positive for COVID. That man is super. They don't make people like they used to make them. Joe Biden has been here before. He is one of those warriors. He was probably black in that other life when he was here before. And so he came back stronger and stronger. But I'm just saying that, y'all. Don't go say I said Joe Biden is black. He could be, though. Everybody, got a little, mix here and there. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. That's just the way it is, y'all. That's just the way it is. Welcome, Mr. Cotton, to Ask Elaine. Welcome, Pastor Watson. Welcome, Randy Crawford. Welcome, and Patrick Davis. If you didn't hear me before, we want to express our condolences to you in the loss of your mom, your dear mom. And we are glad to have you back with us. We've missed you. Um, and I know that you can say amen to the Inflation Reduction Act that we were talking about because it caps the price of insulin, and it's going to help an awful lot of us to not have to make a decision between food and medicine. And a lot of people do have to choose.
They do.
And so this Biden administration, Democrats always look out for the people. That we have a big tent and we always look out for the people. Republicans, the only legislation that was passed in the Trump administration was a huge tax decrease for rich folks. That is all. That is all that was passed. And if anybody can refute what I'm saying, then bring it on. Tell me about it. Now let's get to our guest, who's none other than Miss Karen Middleton, and she is going to tell you a little bit about herself, Pastor Lisa, and she is going to tell us why we should be celebrating and how the organization that she's associated with is going to be celebrating. Welcome to Ask Elaine. We're just so glad to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if my mic is on. Do I
If
turn?
you'll just speak right,
There,
get close to the mic.
there we go. Well, do I need to move?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me. Definitely appreciate it. And Karen Middleton, as the wonderful Miss Elaine Lucas said, I'm with Macon Housing Authority. I'm Chief of Resident Initiatives, and I'm also the President and CEO of our nonprofit, Macon Housing Moving to Success. Now I'm supposed to be here with Gregory Brown, who is also with the who is with Planning and
I
Zoning.
think they're coming in.
Oh, great,
Now,
and Dr.
these-
Pickling, awesome.
These so busy people.
Yes.
We're lucky to get these folks, y'all.
Yes.
But they are such good folks until they put us into their schedule and work it out to come with us. So if you see them coming in, just listen to Miss Middleton.
Okay, great.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
we are here to talk about the age-friendly community. And so Macon Bibb is the first age-friendly community that has been designated by AARP and the World Health Organization.
Okay, what does age-friendly mean?
Age-friendly is about walkable, livable communities. It's about all ages, especially our seniors, being able to age in place. We focus on 8 domains. Buildings, we look at transportation, housing, social participation and respect, communication and information, and also our health. and community support. So all of those different categories are what we focus on to make sure that we have an age-friendly community.
Okay.
Yes.
And we were the first one,
The
weren't
first.
we? First.
First.
I remember Frank Tompkins was serving
Yes.
as a city council member,
Mhm.
and he introduced the age friendly legislation, which I had the pleasure of supporting.
Yes.
And so it passed, I think, unanimously
Yes, it did.
through the Macon City Council
Mhm.
and has been in place all of this
Since
time.
2012.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we're excited. So we're on 10 years.
Uh-huh.
And so now with our 10-year anniversary, we're looking to have a big celebration. Being the first, you have to go out with a bang. You have to do it real big.
Yeah.
So we're looking at October 22nd. And we're going to be at Tatnall Square Park for the celebration from 11 to 2.
And what we're going to do each week, we're going to announce that.
Good.
We're going to continue. And hello, Ricky Crawford. We're glad to have you. All of you who have joined Ask Elaine. We're talking with Karen Middleton, and we've been joined by Mr. Gregory Brown. And they are here to tell us about something that we can take part in. It's a celebration. Uh, Sometimes we think that our mature citizens are forgotten, but they are not. Our mature citizens are the ones who hold up the sky.
That's it.
They're the ones who keep it going.
That's right.
And like old folks used to say, just keep on living. You'll be there. You'll be you'll
Yes.
be there. But truly, we need to honor and respect. And basically, this is a huge group of our citizens, our seniors, our mature citizens. And so we've got to make provisions for not only leisure activities, but healthcare and all kinds of things. And people are living longer. I think the research shows that more and more folks are going to live to be 100.
Wow.
Whereas in the past, there were, it was rare for people to live to be 100. But just think, many of you who are watching or listening to Ask Elaine, who are seniors like I am, you're going to live to be 100
Yeah.
or over 100. So provisions need to be made for the extension of life of these mature citizens, and provisions being made for them to be happy and involved.
Right.
Welcome, Mr. Gregory Brown.
Hey, how are you?
Who is a planner with Planning and Zoning Commission. He's also the president of the chair of the Pedestrian Safety Review Board, and we're glad to have him here. Ms. Middleton has already told you a little bit about herself, and we're going to let them continue the conversation about this age-friendly. Oh, and our engineer says that's your brother in there, your Sigma brother.
Uh-oh. That's
So
why it's so
y'all just
beautiful.
throwing the blue,
So
throwing the
beautiful.
blue all over.
Yeah. We got a red wall, but we can deal with it.
Yeah, that's a Delta wall, but you got a blue screen in there.
Right. She's blue too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Zeta.
is she? All right, then. All right, y'all gonna be. See, he's just so happy. He's so happy. But anyway, we're glad to have y'all. We know that your schedules are just very, very busy, but we're glad that you were able to make time to come and talk. So if you'll continue where I interrupted you.
Oh, no.
And go ahead, and then we're going to talk with Greg about and let him share from his vantage point what's going to be going on.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So we'll have vendors. And so we're going to be reaching out, like you said, to everyone about coming out on October 22nd. It's going to be at Tatnall Square Park. That's where it all started with a walk audit. Right, Greg?
Right.
A walk audit. And if you want to go ahead and take it from there.
Right. And so that day is really gonna be celebrating Macon-Bibb being an age friendly community for the last 10 years. And so we're expected to have, like Karen mentioned, vendors, and we're also going to highlight 8 domains. The age friendly, network is made up of 8 domains, which are like outdoor spaces and buildings, transportation, your housing,
Yeah.
social participation, your respect and social inclusion, communications and information, civic participation and employment, community support, and health services. So we're going to have like a setup around the fountain area there at
Uh-huh.
Techno Square Park.
Yeah.
So each of those domains I just named off is we're going to have it set up to where it can kind of resemble something within that particular line of domain. And so, and then we're planning to have live music from either a DJ. We're thinking about a band, but I think we're going to go with the DJ. So we'll have a DJ out
Yeah.
playing music. We're planning to have fun activities for the kids because it's very intergenerational, and we want to
Yeah.
make sure that is accommodating everyone, from 8 to 80. So we just want to make sure, it could be smaller than 8,
Yeah.
age group. It can be
Yeah.
as old as 80 or above. So we just want to make sure we put together a true community event that highlights Macon Bibb County being the first age friendly community.
Yeah. We
Right.
probably need to change that from instead of 8 to 80, we need to now say 1 to 100.
That
Right.
is correct. That is right. Because people are living longer,
Right.
and we've got to have something for them to do. Like
Mhm.
we talk a lot about young people and providing things for them, and we want to do that. We
Yes.
certainly want to do that. But our more mature citizens are living much, much longer. The advances in medicine,
Mhm.
age friendly communities that are planning. Every time you look at something,
Yes.
you're planning for how will this impact our seniors?
Right.
How will this impact this group, that group? But more and more, seniors are hanging around a little
Right.
bit longer. You don't have grandmas. I see some grandmas, some great grandmas
All right.
who are out and about.
Oh,
They're
yes.
doing
Right.
all
Yes,
kinds
sir.
of stuff. They're not sitting at home waiting
Right.
for you to bring the baby over to baby. You come to my house, you might not find anybody there to babysit. Let me go on. Let me move on. Let me move on. But truly, truly, these are the folks who vote in the highest numbers,
Right.
highest percentages. So we, as senior citizens, challenge all the rest of the age groups to get it
Absolutely.
in gear
Right.
and
Exactly.
do what the senior citizens are doing. It shouldn't just be on that particular age group to get stuff done
Hmm.
and to carry the community. So, all right, age friendly. Macon Bibb County has been an age friendly community for 10 years.
Yes. Hmm.
And with that, what kind of advantages does that give us as an age friendly community?
Okay, so like we were
If
talking
you'll speak right
Oh, I'm sorry.
into that microphone.
like we were
there.
talking about the different domains, and so I am a part of the housing domain along with Ivy Hall, and who is over the director of Habitat for Humanities, and also Wanzina Jackson.
Mhm.
So we work with the housing, and so we're talking about people aging in place, and having a home fit for them. And so AARP does a lot of workshops and things to kind of make your home fit for living, like grab bars and all sorts of things. So those are the things in just the housing area
Mhm.
to see about aging in place. And then, of course, Greg with transportation.
Right. And it
Yeah.
just being an age friendly community just puts you in a great position to market the community, especially when people are looking to retire.
Yes.
You have so many people that lives in the north. They come down during the winter time so that they can get away from the cold weather and that type
Right.
thing. So
Right.
by making Bibb County being an age friendly community, I think they call them what, snowbirds.
Yeah, the snowbirds.
So when the
Yeah.
snowbirds come south, it's before they get all the way to Florida, they may be like, okay, making this age friendly community.
Uh-huh.
Let me stop and look and see what's going on. So it's all about livability and making the community a livable community for seniors, as they are aging in place.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good, and I know people will be happy to know that this community is an age-friendly community, that we realized years ago that our population was shifting
Right.
toward there being more and more folks who live longer
Yes.
and who have certain needs.
Hmm.
Let's talk about some of the things that have been done on the streets to accommodate older folks, any of those kinds of things. And we want to hear about any other kinds of projects
Yes.
that have been undertaken to make sure that we accommodate the needs of our seniors.
Exactly.
Right. In terms of infrastructure improvements to make sure that, it's accommodating for seniors, yourself, Commissioner Lucas, you and all the other county commissioners and the mayor, you all are invested in pedestrian movement and
Right.
pedestrian safety
Right.
throughout the community. And one way you all are committed by, you all recently added at least $500,000 in the budget just for those improvements. So, and that just one commitment just from the county. When you have that type of commitment from your county leaders to ensure that uh, the safety of pedestrians are up to par, as well as your ADA compliant type sidewalks, ensuring that they have curbs, so that those in maybe wheelchairs or motorized vehicles can access sidewalks um, safely, as well as someone who may be blind,
Yeah. Yeah.
by having the rumble strips at the end of sidewalks. So those are just some things that you, as your commitment as a county official, and others, your cohorts, you all have done to make sure that this community is well equipped to be able to move around, help pedestrians and our seniors move around safely.
Right. And it helps everybody,
Mhm.
but seniors do, as you get older, you will have some health challenges,
Right.
some things, and it shouldn't be, you shouldn't be prohibited from enjoying your life
Hmm.
because of structural
Right.
kinds of things. And so that is one of the kinds of things that this age friendly environment
Right.
brings about.
Yeah, and so
Yes.
with I'm sorry to cut you off,
Go,
but
go ahead.
when improvements are done to your community like that, that raises your livability score, which is what the World Health Organization, the WHO,
Mhm.
what they look at to see how livable your community is. So just having just simple things like that improved in your community raises your livability score.
Yeah. I wonder if people have noticed recently all the curb cuts that have been put in place all around the community. The next time you're at a corner, just glance over at the sidewalk and just notice that little graded area
That's it.
there
Yeah. Hmm.
that has been done especially for folks with um, the likelihood that they may trip or
Right.
whatever. But it's safer. It's safer for everybody. But a lot of those uh, modifications have been put in place because of this, the work of these groups, like the Age Friendly Group,
Hmm.
AARP, that have decided that we're going to make this community safer
Right.
for this growing
Yes.
group of our citizens. And if we make it safer for them, it's going to be safer for everybody.
Yeah,
So
generations to come.
that's the whole idea.
I did
That's,
want to. I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Okay,
Go
I did
ahead.
want to say this. While we're a part of age friendly with the council and the domains and all of that, this is not our baby.
Right.
This belongs to Macon BM.
Yeah. Yeah.
So of course with the mayor and with the commissioners, voting and everything like that, this is like we want everybody to be involved.
It's official.
It's exactly
It's the official position
Mhm.
of this community that we will do all we can to make it as comfortable, as safe
Yes.
as possible for our seniors who are getting on up there in age. And it makes
That's
it
right.
safer for everybody.
For
Make
everybody.
it safer for me. Make it safer for my children, my grandchildren, my great grands, all of them.
Yes.
We have the Middle Georgia Association of Clergy Women who are on.
Okay.
And I'm trying to see the name of that person. We have Bessie, and I don't know who Bessie is, but welcome to Ask Elaine.
No, she's special. Her name is Bessie. So.
Yeah, I got Bessie twice. We want to thank Maria Bryant, who is with the NAACP.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah, they said in there.
I don't know what he's saying. You know,
What's he-
I'm just okay. And then Maria Bryant with the NAACP, Pastor Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Engineer, what are you trying to tell me? You know I'm handicapped as far as your messages while I'm on here. We want to welcome Mr. Cotton, who is a retiree from Macon Bibb County.
Okay.
And Overseer Mabel Randall is on the line. Is that right?
Oh, yes.
She's in the chat. Oh, okay. Overseer Mabel Randall, who has her program on Tuesday
Okay.
evening at 3. Oh, she is the one that's with the Middle Georgia Association of Clergy.
Okay.
There it
That's
is.
what the engineer was trying to tell me.
You got it. You got
it. What in the world do I have to say to get you to see what it is? I knew that, but I did not put it together. You
Right.
know, Mr. Engineer. But thank you for helping me out. I really appreciate that. Now, Myrtle Habersham.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Myrtle Habersham
Yes.
was one who has been involved with AARP and the age-friendly community for all of these years. And she was one of the ones working with Mr. Frank Tompkins,
Yes.
who's the one who introduced the legislation on the city council. And Myrtle has moved up several times
Oh, yes.
because of her work with AARP.
Yes.
And I have my AARP. They sent me the card, me and Senator the card when we turned 50.
Uh-oh.
And so they say, you know, if you join, we'll get 2 for 1. So we went ahead and joined, and we've been members, and there are lots of benefits.
Yes.
Tell us if you remember the benefits to AARP membership.
Ooh. Well,
I know
there's
there are discounts.
I don't think Greg is there yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, Greg is
Not
not
there,
there
Greg.
yet.
Okay, yeah,
I have my
should've
card too.
known.
I know. See? But yeah, definitely with the reduction for medicines, of course advocating with the legislation for different things for seniors. So lots of voting there.
Yeah.
They also have a magazine out.
Oh, I get it every
Yes.
month.
Yes.
And it has wonderful information.
Yes.
Okay.
And their health information, information on exercises for seniors, on the kinds of medical tests that you need to get at certain ages. It's just wonderful.
So just give me 4 more months and I'll be there.
You can join at age 18,
All
though. Did you know that?
Right.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so you can
You're
go ahead and
there.
join.
Mr. Engineer, you're not.
Oh. Oh, come on,
my.
man.
Yes.
But it's wonderful
Yes.
information,
It
and I
is.
look
It is.
forward to.
Right.
I look forward to going through
Yes.
that magazine
It's awesome.
every month because it just has, and then it has people that you really didn't know were seniors, and they tell their story
Yes.
about the different benefits of AARP and age-friendly activities and being in communities that stress health and safety for seniors. So it's wonderful. So
Mhm.
if you're 50, whether and you haven't received the application and all, they just send it to you. You know, when you turn 50, it comes to you. Please take advantage of it. When Senator and I travel, we have used the AARP discount
Mm,
at hotels
okay.
and other
Car
things,
rentals.
car
Mhm.
rentals. And if you just get the list and look at all
Right.
of the benefits, it's well worth it.
It
The
is.
membership is quite low,
Mhm.
and it is well worth it. And another thing that it talks about is activities that seniors can be involved in that you never thought about.
That's
You
right.
never
Mm-hmm.
thought
Mm-hmm.
about.
Right.
You know, big,
Volunteerism.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
That's huge.
And now with the teacher shortage, there
Mhm.
is a real push. We had new superintendent Dan
Mr.
Sims
Sims.
Yes.
Yes.
in as our special guest last week,
Okay.
and he talked about how they're trying to get teachers
To come back.
because there's such a shortage.
Wow.
And so that's a place for those seniors who, I mean, who
All
love
right.
teaching, who
Right.
retired,
Mhm.
and you want to come back.
Right.
I think they'd be real happy
Yeah, that's a great
to see
opportunity.
you to
Exactly.
see you apply. And at a meeting the last week where we were expressing our support for Charlie Bailey, who is in the election. He's the
Mm-hmm.
Democratic nominee for lieutenant governor.
Yes.
That was one of the points that I made in there, that with teachers, with us everywhere, there's a
Mm-hmm.
shortage of teachers. And with this push to tell teachers how to teach and what to teach and
Mm-hmm.
what they can't teach, and this might make me feel bad, or this
Right.
might make you feel bad because we're telling the truth, you're going to end up losing a lot of folks.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
there was a mention that those who have retired are being recruited to
Okay.
come back
That's
to
awesome.
the
Right.
classroom.
And it just keeps them sharp too. You know,
It
it
really
keeps them sharp.
does.
I
It
love
really
talking to a
does.
retired educator or just an
Mhm.
educator, period.
Mhm.
You know, because they just, bring so much to, the quality of a community,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
and just making sure that, our students are well educated and, educators, they are committed
Oh
to what
yeah.
they're doing, like yourself. You have your
Right.
own high school, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
See, that's
yeah,
just a commitment. So
yeah,
I
Right.
yeah,
enjoy, educators. So
yeah.
kudos to you
Doctor,
all.
yeah, thank
Definitely.
you. Dr. Mary Butler has joined us, and she says, "Baby boomers lead the way."
Right.
Y'all better get on Facebook Live, hear the glory, so y'all can see all these comments, and you can see our gorgeous and handsome faces on here each week. And it's all right listening on AM or FM, but it's just so great for you to be able to see who's talking, who's being interviewed. And then when you get a chance to meet these people in person, then you'll feel like you already know them.
Hmm.
Dr. Butler, thank you so much. She says, great show and great guest. Thank
Uh-oh. Thank you,
you. They
thank you, thank you,
always
Dr.
Yay.
tune
Butler.
in. Mr. Cotton says he loves AARP.
Mhm.
Said when my son was going to college in Wisconsin, stayed up there 3 days for about $195 for all 3 days
Wow.
using that card
Uh-oh.
discount at Marriott. And by the way, if
Wow.
you're a Marriott, if you go to use Marriott hotels,
Hmm.
please join the Marriott Rewards
Yes.
Yeah.
program.
Mhm.
Hilton also has one where you can accumulate points.
Mhm.
Every time you like to go to Hilton hotels, you can accumulate points
Yes.
there. Holiday Inn has
Right.
a rewards
Hmm.
program, and you save those points, and before you know it, you have a lot
You have a
of
lot,
free
yeah.
rooms.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you get ready to go on vacation, you simply use your bonus points, your rewards points to pay for your room. You can use them for airlines.
Oh yeah.
You can
Right.
use them to. there's a whole book
Right.
of things that you can go in, just a catalog,
Right.
and use those bonus points. So
Mhm.
when if you travel a lot, be
Yeah.
sure to join those rewards clubs, and you don't have to get a credit
Right.
card.
No, they're
You can
free.
just simply
Hmm.
join the rewards club, and you accumulate uh, points,
Points.
Right.
Yep.
and you can use them, and it really does come in handy. We had some relatives in town a few weeks ago, and they needed a hotel room, so I just
Mm.
called up Marriott,
Hmm.
gave them all my information, and they deducted the
Yes.
number
Wow.
of points that I had from my total, and the family members were able to get
Right.
at a
And it's a
hotel
sweet deal,
room.
and it's probably something you didn't know about me, but I actually worked for the Marriott for about 10 years.
Oh, did
Yeah.
you?
Ah, so
I
he knows
did
all about
not
the
know
folks.
Yeah, so I
that.
started when I was in graduate school at Alabama A&M in Huntsville
Uh huh.
as a student, and then when I got the job here in Macon with the county, waited a year so I could learn, the job with the Planning Commission,
Yeah.
and then I started working part time with the courtyard here in Macon for
Oh,
about 10 more years. So
I
yeah,
did not
Ah,
know
hey.
that. But
yeah,
Mary, I love
yeah. I love
Marriott,
Marriott.
and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they probably need to do a sponsorship on this program since we have given them such
Give
good
him some
publicity on
exactly.
here. But I really like
I like Marriott.
the
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Marriotts, and they appreciate their customers returning time after time because they recognize and reward you.
hmm,
But our point was that seniors need to
right.
be taking advantage of all of the things, and that AARP membership is one thing that you need to be a part
Mm-hmm.
of.
Mm-hmm.
And I think 3 years is like what, 30, $40 for
Oh
three
wow.
years.
Exactly. About
And
yeah.
it's not a
Mm-hmm.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lot. And you get all that information every month. And then of course the discounts.
Hmm. Yes.
Oh
I mean,
gosh.
and we all like a bargain. We all like to feel like we're getting our money's worth
I think
with
can't you
stuff.
even look for purchasing vehicles and
Oh,
auto
look.
insurance
Yeah.
and some
Yeah.
of everything.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It is just Pastor Lisa. Um, it, where she and Dr. Butler back and forth. She's there's some Gen Xers on here. Now we welcome all of you to Ask Elaine. For
It's age
those who,
friendly.
yes, it's age friendly no matter what.
Absolutely.
So for those of you who just tuned in, you've just about missed the whole program. You missed a lot of good information, but the good thing is, y'all please like and share this so that all of your friends will be reminded to watch the entire program because it does record, and you are welcome to share it. Please share any and all of the programs that you found beneficial. We have not gotten any calls, but we do have a little more time. If you have a call, a question, or a comment that you would like to make, give us a call. Our number is 478-250-1444. Our special guests today are Ms. Middleton and Mr. Brown, and they are here talking about the age friendly designation that Macon Bibb has. And they've also given you some information about being a part of that wonderful group that's
Right.
holding up the sky, the seniors. And we were talking earlier about Myrtle Havisham, and
Yes.
we want to just salute her
Salute.
because she was instrumental in getting this thing going,
Yes.
and she has moved up with the volunteer organization
Yeah.
and just continue. She's also a member of the Pedestrian Safety Review Board where we
Absolutely.
serve.
Mm-hmm.
And every time there's a project that we're working on,
She's the
then
one.
AARP is a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
You see
Mm-hmm.
folks with the red shirts, they're
Yes.
out there,
Yes.
and we just thank them, and we thank her for the involvement. Carol
Can I say?
Spain has posted something about all natural health foods, and we appreciate that. Um, Pastor Lisa says she's only a senior when it's time for a
With a discount.
she
That's the
puts her
best time.
glasses on and her white wig, and she. Okay, we're going to let y'all share with us just one final thing that you would like for everybody to know, and remind them of this special event that's
Okay.
coming up October 22nd at Tatnall Square Park.
Yes, I definitely wanted to piggyback on what you were saying about Myrtle Habersham. We know she's awesome, and she chaired the age friendly community council before she moved on up to state level.
Right.
And so now Greg and I are co-chairs. It took two of us.
It takes
Yeah.
two to do one Myrtle.
Exactly. So we're in that role right now, and so she's doing really big things at the state level, and also Hillary Johnson is our representative as well, that's working with us through AARP.
Yeah.
And so now, while making Bibb is the first, there's now about 100
Oh.
cities in Georgia
Georgia.
now, but we're number one.
Yeah, we set the standards in a lot of different areas, and
Yes.
Macon is also. We were one of the first ones to set up a pedestrian safety review board.
That's
that
correct.
you're chairing.
That's correct.
And we've been able to get a lot done. And I want to mention to people too that we had a very, very good meeting with Georgia Department of Transportation.
Right.
And they have agreed to start looking at these state roads where we're losing just so many people
Mhm.
to traffic
Right.
accidents, traffic deaths. And so we're going to be looking to share some of that information and what kinds of changes are
Mhm.
going to be put in place, especially on our state roads,
Right.
to help to keep our citizens safer. So there's a lot going on. You might not see everything, you might not know everything, we
Right.
might not be able to tell you everything, but please trust us that there's an awful lot going on
Yes.
in this community. I bet you didn't know about the age friendly stuff that's going on, but
Right.
now you know that those curb cuts and all that stuff are all a part of having it safer for you when you ride your little electric wheelchair all over the road.
Right.
You know, and there are a
Right.
lot of them. They're like cars. That those little curb cuts are intended to make it safer
Mhm.
for you. So that's one thing, just one thing that you
Yes.
can look at.
Right.
There are people looking out for you, especially for our senior citizens.
Right.
And so,
And then
Greg,
also it's like, having events throughout the community.
Yes.
We don't want seniors to just be in their home 24/7.
right, right,
There are a lot of events that goes on down at the Douglas Theater.
right.
The Macon Arts Alliance, the Tubman Museum, or
Museum.
any place around Macon. These are the type activities and things that, like I said earlier, makes a community a livable community. So, seniors, if you hear of different events, cultural events going on throughout the community, they're designed for you, so that you won't be sitting in your house idle and that type thing.
Right.
So we just want you to get out and enjoy what the community has to offer.
Right.
Exactly.
We you can make it hard for yourself by sitting still.
That's what COVID
Anything
did.
that you don't
Right.
use,
Right.
you lose.
Right.
Right.
And if
Right.
you don't get up and move around, I'm talking to myself too, y'all. So,
Me too.
but when you don't get up and move around and do things, you
Right.
tend
Right.
to lose some of that flexibility. And when you get ready to move,
Tighten
Yes.
up. Right. You don't want.
Yeah.
Like,
we don't
you have
want you to be.
yeah.
We don't
It
want you to
takes
be so isolated. So.
Takes you a half hour to get your hip together to get up. I'm talking about other folks. I'm not let me remind you that Stacey Abrams has opened a headquarters in Macon. It's on Eisenhower Parkway, right as you exit the interstate I-75. And these folks aren't saying this. I'm saying that because they're nonpartisan with that age-friendly stuff. but they probably agree with it. But anyway, they're nonpartisan. But I support Stacey Abram and the Democratic ticket, and you need to do that as well. And over the next few weeks, we're going to be telling you why you should vote to support, why you should vote, period. And then we're going to talk about the positions of some of these candidates. And hopefully that will convince you that you need to support them. Every vote is going to count because voter suppression is alive and well. There are people who want you to stay home. There are people who want you to get discouraged. There are people who don't want you to vote. So you have got to prove them wrong and make sure. Early voting is going to start mid October. We will have sample ballots where you can go through and see the different races. We have a local race, a water board race, and we're going to have one of the candidates, Marshall Talley, and if I were in District 2, I'd vote for him. But anyway, we're going to have him on. And if the other candidates wish to come on, we will allow them to come on as well. But the new Stacey Abrams office is on Eisenhower Parkway, right as you exit off of I-75, and you're headed like toward Westgate that
Okay.
way. It's right there in the Watkins real estate
Okay.
business right there. And so, y'all, please go by, volunteer. You're asking, what can I do to help Stacy? You're not going to help her sitting at home doing nothing. You got to go help her. You got to put a sign in your yard. You got to get others to put signs out, hand out material, get everybody in your church registered. You still have time. Early voting through absentee is going on now. And then mid October, people will be able to go to the Board of Elections and vote early. Go to the Lucas Senior Citizens
Yeah.
Center or the Theranossery Center, and I
Okay.
believe it'll be back open. If not, but you can go to those early voting sites, vote early, get it out of the way, and then if something happens on election day, you can't make it.
Mhm.
You haven't messed up anything.
Okay.
So y'all go by. Stacy needs your help, and all the other candidates who are running to support us, running to get in position so that they can make this world a better place for all of us, especially our senior citizens who need so much. How do you think we got legislation like this Inflation Reduction Act?
Yes.
It wasn't because somebody elected Republicans because they all voted against it. But at every level, local, state, and national, we need to vote for people who support what people need.
Absolutely.
We need to vote for folks that support what we all need, including safety of our seniors and activities and programs that will benefit our seniors. So, Pastor Lisa is saying that all the candidates will be invited to introduce themselves and their platforms at a political forum in October. And so next week or the week after, she'll call in or come on and tell us about that
Okay.
political forum. But anytime you get a chance to listen to some folks, except Herschel Walker, do not listen to him. You will be wasting your brain, your air, your breath, everything. It will be a waste of time. Just don't vote for him. But anyway, listen to candidates and their positions and make sure that they're talking your talk. They're talking about things that you would like for them to do.
Yes.
And so I've gone over my time, but our folks here are just so kind to me. They just know I get kind of worked up. But we want to thank all of you for tuning in to Ask Elaine. We want to thank our guests for
Thank you
being
for having
here.
us.
Thank you for having us.
We are going to have you back again,
Okay.
where we talk about ongoing activities
Oh,
Okay.
good.
of the age-friendly community and AARP. So thank you so very much for taking the time to be here. So On behalf of everybody here at Ask Elaine, 10 years doing the Ask Elaine program. Thank
Oh,
you
wow.
so much
Congratulations.
for being
Yay.
here with us. Thank you, everybody who tuned in today. And tune in again next Wednesday, 3 p.m., for another edition of Ask Elaine.
Awesome.
Connecting the community through gospel.
The new 107.9 FM, W300 EB.
Macon and WDDO 980 AM.
Paired